So there you go. Is this the first lowered Cybertruck ever?
This is the first lowered Cybertruck.
Wow.
Ever. No one's done it yet.
There you go. The first lowered Cybertruck ever on N2itive lowering links. Actually looks really good lowered. I have to say, I wasn't sure what I would think, but it looks killer. And actually, I think -10 is a really good height. I think at this level, it's gonna handle better, and it's gonna be more like a car. All right, so before you install the lowering links, you want to make sure your car's in jack mode. We're going to show you that right now. You just click on service here, and then jack mode. This car's already in jack mode, but if yours is just starting out, that's what you do. All right, so we're going to start by presetting the lowering links. I'm going to back this set screw off about 1 1/4 turns. I'm going to turn this top head. And the way we do this is that 0.0 right there. We're going to line up that line with this vertical line on the neck where it's at the -10 horizontal line. So once I got that set, I'm going to turn this back. Make it snug, but not too snug because it is a small set screw. And now this one's ready to install. Once we install it, we don't have to remove it if we want to make changes. We can simply loosen up the set screw while it's under the car, turn the sleeve to our new setting, tighten it back down, and you're done. So first thing we want to do is remove the original links. So we're going to start with the upper control arm side here. So this is our first time doing it on a Cybertruck. I'm going to use a prying tool like this, but you could probably use a flathead screwdriver or a small pry bar. So I'm going to hold the sensor firmly so I don't break the sensor, and then it just snaps right off like that. And then once that one's done, then you can hold the sensor again by the arm and just peel it backwards and it pops right off. We're going to install the bottom head first to the sensor, just with a pair of channel locks. We got the tape on there to protect the finish so it doesn't mar the links. And we can set that right like that. Okay, that pops right on like that. We can rotate this so the other ball is in alignment. I'm going to open up these channel locks one more notch. And that snaps on like that. Okay, that's at -10 right now. Oops, sorry. I'm just going to rotate this so it sits nice. And that's it. Now we did this with the wheels on, so you can see it's quite easy. We just put the suspension in the high setting, and you can easily swap them out. So now we'll do the same thing to the other side. I'm going to start by holding. We're going to remove from the upper control arm first. I'm going to hold the sensor here to keep it isolated so we don't put any stress on the sensor. Then we'll come in underneath like this and just pop it off like that. Then you can hold the sensor in one hand and simply peel this backwards and it comes off. Interesting, these actually seem to come off a little easier than the S and X. All right, so now we've got the N2itive link. We preset it. I'm going to attach the bottom head first to the sensor. You can do these. You can set this either direction. It doesn't matter, but it's easier to read, of course, if you do it with this side up. So that's why we're doing it like that. So we'll get the bottom head on there first. Swivel this around so we get the top head in alignment. Boom. There you go. And just check that this is square. This should be, you don't want one of them all tweaked over to the side like that. So get it centered, and you can just adjust it like that with your hands. And that's it. All right, so we're going to take off the OEM link here in the rear, and we're going to start by removing it first from the upper control arm side, because that's the steel side, that's the strong side. We don't want to remove it from here first because you're likely to break the sensor.
Okay. And just that in there.
Boom. Actually, not too hard. And it's easier when you don't have two cameras in your face, actually. Basically, I'm going to hold this sensor arm here and then pry this backwards. Like that. Okay, that way I don't put any pressure on the sensor. And we take that off. Now we can move on to installing the new link. Now you can do these either direction. I did the top. I'm going to put this up so it's easier to read when you want to adjust it later. So I'm going to start by putting this bottom head, we call this the bottom head here. I'm going to put the bottom head on the sensor first, and then I'll connect the top head to the upper control arm ball second. And the way I'm going to connect that, like I did on the other side, we're just using a pair of channel locks. We put some pretty heavy duty thick tape on here to make sure it doesn't scratch our link, and we should be able to just squeeze that on. It's pretty tight fit, I'll give you that heads up on that though. Sometimes I find it helps if you use a little bit of profanity when you're trying to install these. That's a trick my dad taught me, actually.
And you just do it under your breath if the kids are around.
Exactly, exactly. Here we go. So I got that on there. Okay, snap that right on. We got these preset on this to -10. This is our first Cybertruck ever, so we don't know what that's going to do. But the nice thing is, with the N2itive links, you don't have to remove them again when you want to make a change. Alright, there we go. There we go. Rear links installed. Alright, so the last setting we're going to change is the auto lowering setting. Otherwise you're going to get jack mode errors. So go into dynamics, and then down here where it says auto lower, you want to disable that. That function is normally there in case you want to lower the car more when you get in it. But if you leave that enabled, you're likely to get the car is likely to go into jack mode with that setting enabled.